welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're diving deep into the R-27R and R-27T missiles. These are two key weapons for the MiG-21 Bison, but are also used by a variety of other aircraft in-game. This is a follow-up to my video covering the MiG-21 Bison, link is below in a pinned comment if you missed it. Whether you prefer radar guided or infrared, stick around to find out which missile fits your playstyle best. Let's kick things off with a quick overview of both missiles. The R-27R is a radar-guided, semi-active homing missile. This means you need to maintain a radar lock until impact, which is great for longer range engagements and head-on attacks. It excels in medium to long range combat, where the enemy may not have a chance to react until it's far too late, particularly in a head-on engagement. The stat card for this missile shows a max lock range of 25 km and a maximum launch range of 55. Realistically, you'll want to use this missile within 15 km to increase your hit chance, dependent on your launch altitude and speed. The R-27R also has inertial guidance, so it will continue to track the last known trajectory of a target if you do lose the radar lock. This can sometimes result in a hit, even when the lock is briefly lost, so long as the enemy doesn't aggressively manoeuvre. On the other hand, we have the R-27T. This is an infrared guided missile, which means it uses heat signatures to track its target. It's a fire and forget missile, making it well suited for rear aspect engagement. The stat card lists a rear aspect lock range of about 18 km, though in practice it is a bit lower. The R-27T can also lock from the front aspect, up to 4.8 km on the stat card, and the missile has IRCCM, which means it can counter some flares. This is, however, not as effective as the IRCCM on, say, an R-73 or AIM-9M missile. Both missiles are quite manoeuvrable and have a decent explosive mass. Now, let's dive deeper into the R-27R. The R-27R is an excellent weapon for mid to long range engagements, especially against targets flying directly towards you. Since it is radar guided, it relies on you maintaining a radar lock on your enemy until the missile impacts. The MiG-21's radar has decent chaff resistance, and combined with the inertial guidance, the R-27R can still occasionally hit, even when the lock is lost. Locking an opponent with your radar will alert most enemies via their radar warning receiver, allowing them to manoeuvre, launch countermeasures, or simply multipath to avoid the missile. Next, let's look deeper into the R-27T. The R-27T shines in closer range fights. Since it is infrared guided, you don't need to worry about maintaining a radar lock, and it will not trigger the enemy's radar warning receiver. This makes it incredibly stealthy and perfect for catching enemies off guard, especially from the rear or where their attention is directed elsewhere, such as those who are bombing bases. However, due to the way the initial rocket motor burns, it's not as manoeuvrable under 1.5 km compared to some of the smaller, shorter range infrared missiles. So, let's take a look at when you should use each missile. First up, when should you use the R-27R? Its long range and radar guidance make it a strong choice for engagements where you need to take out targets at a distance or at altitude. If you can successfully maintain a radar lock in your chosen plane, the R-27R can be quite effective, coupled with the fact it has inertial guidance and data link where it's supported, for instances where the lock is lost. And now for the R-27T. Its stealthy infrared guidance makes it ideal for sneaky rear aspect attacks. If you can position yourself behind your target, this missile has a high chance of hitting, especially if they are not aware of your presence. It's great for catching unaware base bombers and distracted opponents, particularly when launched under 8 km. One tactic is to try side climbing at the start of the match, then come back towards the fight to pick off the unaware opponents. Just be cautious around planes with a lot of countermeasures. You can of course use this missile at closer ranges, from all aspect, though your opponent will likely deploy countermeasures instinctively. If you're going for a head-on shot with this missile, it may be better to wait until later in the match, when opponents have used up most of their countermeasures. So, which missile should you use? It really depends on your playstyle. If you prefer longer range engagements and keeping your distance, the R-27R is the way to go. However, its radar guidance makes it perfect for picking off enemies in head-on situations, and it is more consistent. On the other hand, if you like the idea of stealth attacks and catching enemies by surprise, the R-27T is likely your best bet. Its infrared guidance makes it more versatile in chaotic close-range fights, but watch out for the flares. In conclusion, both the R-27R and the R-27T bring something unique to the table. The R-27R excels at longer ranges and gives consistency due to the radar guidance, while the R-27T allows for interesting stealth tactics and a slightly different playstyle. Overall, the R-27R is more effective due to the consistency, but the R-27T still has its uses in the right hands. So, which one do you prefer? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification button for more War Thunder content. Thanks for watching.